come with us on our journey today. One, we are not going to show the whole process. We are just not. If you want to learn how to do the deed, there's plenty of people out there that will tell you, and if you message us, we will tell you. But we're not going to show you the deed. I'm going to show you our setup, basically. Okay? So, what do we have? We have kill cones, because chickens running around with their heads cut off is a true statement. Chickens do not sit still once they die. They still flop around and all. So we use these kill cones. And it contains them. And then, something else you notice, we don't have a thing of hot water. We don't have a plucker or any of that. We skin them, guys. So much faster, less smell. Absolutely. So if you think that you can't process chickens because you don't have a plucker, guess what? You actually can. Okay? All right. So, Mark, talk to me about what we're doing today.
You just kind of explained it, babe.
I did, sort of. But talk to me about how we're doing it here in the South in summer.
Well, yeah, it's I should have been up at daylight this morning, but just didn't feel good. So I'm only gonna do a few today, and then maybe catch the rest later this week, early in the morning. But basically, just do our harvesting. And, once I get them, just whatever the word for it is, dress them out, and then I'm gonna get them in the water, not real cold water.
Yeah, there's no ice, right?
Right, no ice right now. It's just tap water, because I don't want them to get tough too quick.
We kind of want them to age, right?
Yeah, right. But they'll be in water, which will help. And then as soon as I'm done, then we'll have to, get them in a bag. We may have to pour a little ice in there.
Now, we're going to let them sit overnight in the ice?
We can, but we'll have to go, we'll have to put a lot more ice in there, because it, if it's going to get
right,
in the
right.
90s today. So
keep it cool. Yeah. Keep it cool. All right, so we're only doing a few because it's going to get hot fast, ain't it?
Right, so I'm going to try to do 3 or 4 today. Then I'll get the rest Thursday morning or Friday morning. Try to get up at daylight.
Now, if your temperatures aren't going to be in the hundreds, guys, y'all can go ahead and do all your birds at one time. If you got 15 people helping you, again, you can do all your birds at one time. Yeah, it's going to be just him today. So he's going to just do a few. He's going to get it done and get out of the heat. Or get the birds out of the heat. Because processing, you don't do it in the heat. Things go bad quickly. So, alright guys. Look how big these guys are. I might show a few snippets along the way. But I might not. I'll show you the finished product. And we will go from there.
Good morning, this is Mark from Cedar Creek Bottoms Farmstead. I was on do a little short video today on Farmall 140, which is a tractor the International Harvester made. It's a very good homestead or small farm tractor. They also made several other ones. So we're going to title this one today the Farmalls. They're good for the homestead. I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone has had a good Father's Day. And we all need to remember our fathers. I had a very good father. That was a good, strong Christian man and lived it and showed it. And so he was a World War II veteran. Grew up on a dairy cotton farm in the South in the Depression, and graduated high school in 1944 and went on to go in the Army and come out with several Bronze Stars, captured a bunch of Germans. He said they really just gave up to him. He didn't really catch them. He said they was ready to give up. I think 39 one day, and the next day he got so many. But he was a radio man. Several times he almost lost his life in that war. In fact, he lost hearing in one ear. That's how close the bullet went by him. And his brother, which was 15 years older than him, also was drafted in World War II. Now he went in 42, and he was a tank commander in North Africa under Patton's group, 2nd Armored Division. He got captured in North Africa. He said a big sandstorm come up and he got captured and spent the rest of the war in German prison camp. One day I'll get on here and talk about that, what all he went through, what he told me. That way maybe we can learn from that, how people can really be. But today this is about the Farmalls. What I'm going to do, I'm fixing to get ready to side dress the rest of my Sudan grass, or high gear, or short sorghum, grain sorghum. They call it all kind of different names. In the prior video I made the other day that will be coming out, it will be before this one, you'll see where I showed some of it. So I'm fixing to go side dress it here in just a minute, and then I got another little patch of corn I got to side dress. And then I'll put my regular cultivators on and plow through peas and some other things. But just wanted to show you a little bit about what I'm fixing to do. So I'm going to lower the camera down, that way you can see, and hopefully you can see well and hear me well. So give me just a moment and I'm going to do this.
All right, let's start.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to loosen this bar up. And these still have the square nuts on them, so they did make a wrench that would fit these, and I got some wrenches in there actually that would fit it. And you just loosen these up. Once you get them a little loose, you can, and you see how quick rust gets on them after a couple of days of raining. Plus being outside ain't helped. We gotta hurry up and get that truck out of my shop, and then we're gonna get the tractors back in there out of the weather. So I'm gonna get a hammer, just tap that. Sometimes you can just tap it a little bit, then just kind of work it back. There it comes. Let's see. It'll be a little aggravating. And I know another problem going on here. I might as well just go ahead and I should have took that out first. That would have made the life a little easier. Just what I like about these old Farmalls, they just use a clamp system, and it worked very well. You change out pieces of
implements on your tractor pretty fast. Now, not as fast as the 3-point hitch, but this tractor has a lot of advantages that the 3-point hitch doesn't have. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to do. So basically what I'm going to do is swap these disc hillers. That way they're throwing dirt into the row. You seen what I'm fixing to do. I brought one bar out. I'll do it exactly the same on the other side of the tractor. I'm going to flip the 2 disc hillers. That way they're doing like this. They'll be, as I'm going out through there, the fertilizer will be going into the row, covering dirt and grass. Now I'm not going to be able to do my big corn patch because I had to go in there and plant skip, so I got all different levels of corn. I'm hoping that some of the young corn may get up big enough before the big corn's too tall, maybe where I can go through there maybe in a week. These Farmall 140s though, and the Super A's, the 130s, the 100s, the Cubs like over here. I got a Super A in the shed. For a small homestead, you cannot beat these tractors, especially if you got all the equipment with them. And even if you don't, if you just got a set of cultivators, boy, it can make a big difference doing stuff. And I know people with small gardens, this is probably too much. But you know, if you're farming several acres where you've got a 2 or 3 acre corn patch, you've got a acre watermelon patch, you got a 1/4 of an acre, half acre pea patch, you can't beat these tractors. This is a 1960 something model. Yeah, it needs a new paint job, but it still works to run. I mean, runs like a sewing machine. Same original engine. I got a Super A in there. It's a 1952 model that my dad bought. It runs like a sewing machine, but I do need to replace the water pump on it and do a couple other things on the front axle. What I'm hoping to do by next year, have one that just stays with cultivators on it and the other one with planters. That way I can do succession planting better. That way I'm not having to swap this equipment out all the time, make life a lot easier on me. Got this little Cub over here that I bought a few years ago. Since we bought the new Massey Ferguson, I may sell her because I'm running out of room to put tractors in the shed. It's got a good little planter, cultivator, and a woods bedding mower with it. It'd make somebody a great little old homestead tractor. These tractors are easy to work on. Their parts are still available. You can get all the ignition and gas and fuel lines, all that, spark plugs, oil filters from Napa, some of the other parts houses. You can go online and find a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of remanufactured stuff on it, remakes. And there's still a lot of this out in people's sheds and stuff. So easy to work on engine, little old 4 cylinders, easy to work on. Everything on them is pretty easy. The brakes a little rough, but most everything else, I mean, you can break them apart pretty quick, change the clutch out. Just a good running little tractor. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these swapped out, and here in a few minutes I'll try to hold the camera and run through the field with it and show you how it does. I hope it does correctly. Sometimes you have to, once you get out in the field, you have to adjust a little bit here and there to get it just right. So some of that's a little aggravating, but I wouldn't. This is what my dad and them used. They had some ACWD 45s, which is a good tractor, and then they had the Super A, and then later on they had some other bigger Farmalls, 806, 1206, which were big row crop tractors. I had an 806. Boy, I really loved that tractor. That thing was a mule in the field. But a lot of people called this the 40-acre tractor. They called the Cub like a 20-acre tractor. And I think, if I remember correctly, I have to go back and look at all the stats. Of course, they were done up north, and dirt is probably a lot better than here in the south. But I think the A and the Super A could break I want to say 8 to 9 acres a day, and that's breaking with a 2-bottom breaking plow. I'm not sure what the cub could do in the daytime. And I know when you got up in the H and the M's, I think they could, break a lot more land in a day, because there's bigger tractors. They could hold 3-bottom, 4-bottom plows. And then, of course, after the A, then the Super A, then they came out with the 100, which is basically still a 140. Then they had the 130. They had, then of course, come out with the 140. The Cub has pretty much not changed much since they built it. I mean, they've done some grill work. It basically stayed the same from when they started building it, and I think in the late 40s, maybe early 50s. I had to go look at all my stuff. And then later on, they come out with the one that was yellow. It was that people have probably seen. They made a red one and a yellow one. And then later on, it come Cub Cadet, of course. They started making the lawnmowers and all that stuff. But if you have a small homestead, this is the tractors you need to look at. I know the 3-point hitch, of course, comes in very handy, especially the ones with the front end loaders. And of course, I got one around there that is a 3-point hitch that I do my big stuff, my plowing, bush hogging, any of that heavy stuff. Because I will tell you, the Farmall small ones, bush hogs will tear them up. I guess it puts too much vibration on it. I noticed that, so we quit using bush hogs on these little Farmalls. We just done away with that. Maybe the pull type probably would work better. We had the little ones. We kind of made our own 3-point hitch for the Super A, and had a little old 4-foot bush hog, because it was good for getting under trees and places that you couldn't get in with the big tractors. So, well, I'm gonna stop it here for a minute and get this done, and here in a few minutes I'll come back, and because I don't want to bore you changing all this stuff out, and plus I'll probably get to breathing heavy and sweating and everything else. But here in just a minute we'll change this, and then hopefully I can get in the field with it for a few minutes and maybe show you how it works, because it is something to look at. This one got the fiberglass hopper. I got several of these. These are better than the metal, because the metal over time with fertilizer, of course, starts rusting. I got several planters. Can't beat these little planters. But the best planter I got in there is a 1903 John Deere walking behind planter. That thing, I have never had a crop failure with it. My crop failures come from flooding or drought. It didn't come from that planter. Sometimes I think this planter sometimes does a little hiccup or something. I've got to really get down into it and figure out what's going on. Maybe my clutch on it's getting wore or something. I need to really pay attention to that. But maybe take it apart this winter and maybe have to weld it back up or something. I don't know. I'll look at it. But let me get started, so I'll be back here shortly. Alright, as y'all can see, I got the disc hillers on, and this is the grain sorghum, high gear, Sudan grass. It's like different names. What this will do is make a grain on top of it that we can use for feed for animals. Also be good for wildlife. And you see how it throws the dirt. I didn't throw it like I really wanted to, but I can't get any closer. I done a boo-boo a while ago, and I know what I done. I should have flipped my bars around, I forgot to. But this is still pretty good. I mean, the high gear's got a good jump. Putting a little ammonia to it. We'll probably get another shower this week, because usually this time of year in Alabama, you're gonna get some summer showers usually. Plenty of moisture in the ground, and it covered pretty good. I know what I done wrong though, but and I will correct that. So I just kind of wanted to show you. I'll do the rest of these. The corn, like I said, I got little corn, big corn. I'll probably have to do that by hand. I got a little plow though to do that, and I may have to show that in a later video how to do that. It something happens that gets too tall for your tractor. There's several ways of doing that. Of course, we got a Hoss wheel hoe. That would probably work pretty good. I just have to drop the ammonia by hand. So, and corn don't have to have ammonia. It just does a lot better. Anyway, well, I'm gonna let my son carry this camera, get it out of the sun because it's getting hot out here, and I'm gonna try to knock this little patch out real quick, and then it'll be lunchtime. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this video. Hope it made sense for you. I hope to put out some more on different things. There's all kind of ways to farm. I mean, it's just, and a lot of them work. I mean, there's different people doing different things. We can learn from each other. Of course, I do mine similar to the old row crop style, but we do some other things too. It's different. A lot of stuff my dad taught me, my uncles taught me. So over time, you'll start seeing stuff progress. You'll start seeing, pretty soon we'll start doing the pastures things where I'm building fences. I'm going to use some electric fencing. I'm going to do some regular fencing on the highway. It just makes me feel better. I don't know why. But I will put one strand electric fence against it. But here back toward the back part of the property, I'm going to use a lot of electric fence. Give that a try. I know several people around here is doing it, and it's working out real well for them. And I know a lot of the homesteaders on YouTube are doing it, and it's working well. So we're going to give that a try. Of course, I came up with the old bunch where you put a hard fence up, and that hard fence, if you keep it up, helps keep out a lot of things. The bad thing about electric fence is it going down, but I don't hear too many problems with that with people. So, and checking your fence regularly helpful too. So, well, we're gonna get off from here. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. That's the biggest thing. Just give us a like. Give us a comment, hit the notification button, share, give us comments, tell us if you see us doing something wrong or you don't understand, ask. We'll try to answer it. I ain't the smartest man on earth, but I'll try to answer it, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody that does, hopefully. Because we want this to be a learning channel, and history, like I've said before, that where my kids can go back and my grandkids maybe, and what I don't be able to teach them in person, maybe they can go back on video and find it where me and Rebecca's doing something and they say, oh, that's what Dad was doing, or anybody else, you know. But we're gonna let you go. It's hot out here, it's getting hot quick. We're gonna knock this little patch out and take us a little dinner break, and probably go loafing for a little while the heat's here. Then this evening we got to get back and get some more tomatoes in the ground, and I went to go plow my corn patch I talked about earlier, and it is too tall. It jumped in the last few days, so I'm gonna have to hand do it, and you'll probably see a video on that one, so stay tuned for that one. I hope you'll have
Alright guys, this is the finished product. So we have skinned and everything. We have let it sit in water overnight. We're fixed to put this sucker in the oven just whole like it is. We severed at the joint here. We severed at the joint on the wing. We skinned it versus actually plucking it. And as you can see, it's a nice pretty bird. So this is one of the smaller ones. And there's a couple of spots that I got to trim up here, but that's going to be all right, you know. I'm sitting here in the sink getting ready to put in the oven and trimming up as I go. So if you like what we're doing, make sure you give us a like, make sure you share our videos, make sure you comment, let us know what you think. As always, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Guys, we will see you on the next one. Bye.